Hi everybody, all my followers, welcome to another video. So this video today is on a 2014 Renault Trafic, Vauxhall Vivaro, whatever you want, same thing. And if you watch my videos, you most likely have seen some videos on this van, which one of them was actually the retrofit of another steering wheel, the cruise control. Okay, it didn't came with this, so I've done that. Just look on my channel, you will find, or I might leave in the description below the video for that job. For today is something slightly different. So the owner of the van asked me to either fit or retrofit rear parking sensors. So this is one of these vans that is closed, so there's no view through here. So he asked me if I could fit parking sensors or to fit a reversing camera. He had preference for the reversing camera, so that was his first choice. So I had the car here, so when I had the van here to do this, I'd done a couple checks. Then I've done some research, looking for diagrams and stuff, because we are going to attempt to use the original radio. So this radio, I'm going to show you, is, as you can see, is the original LG radio that is used for the models with the reversing camera. So basically, guys, I was looking on my paperwork. I didn't have diagrams for this van, neither for the radio. So, old friend Google, I started to search to see if I could get the pinouts for the radio or some sort of diagrams or whatever. I couldn't. Well, I probably didn't look that far, but I found something else, which was this, which is a picture of. So there is a company out there that sells these cables, which basically they have this plug that plugs straight on the radio, and then the one that is now on the radio plugs here, and in between you have all the connections for the reversing camera. This camera, guys, is now original, because when I was looking to buy the camera for this, I found an original camera on eBay that was for sale from a van that was being broken for parts. But when I've seen it, and when I actually went to buy it, it was sold. Then for a few weeks I was trying to find another one. I couldn't find one, so I bought one of those Chinese ones, if you want to call it. So hopefully this will also work. So the camera is here. There it is. Goes on the third brake stop at the back, right at the top of the doors. It comes with all the wiring, pretty much. So there it is. Okay. And it comes with a cable. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually test the camera just here before I start to route any cables or anything like that. We're gonna need some coding. That's why the clip is here. We're gonna have to code the radio to take the camera, because obviously the moment is not coded, so it's gonna be some sort of coding there. And yeah, that's gonna do it. So let's gonna remove the radio, pull it out, and try to see if I can poke some wires on those pins in there, and then modify the loom perhaps, and see if we can get this working. Okay, guys, and the first thing we're gonna do, so I took this trim, pulled the radio out, it's in there, the camera is already there. It comes all the way to here. Already found a cable from another sort of adapter cable, so I took this RCA here. Okay, ready to strip here at the back and try it. We'll be taking power to the camera from probably from the cigarette socket, from this 12-volt socket. And the first thing I'm going to do is try to code the radio, see if I can make something related to the camera to come up on the screen, which at the moment obviously is not. it doesn't. So, okay, ignition on. Let me see. Yeah, ignition on. Okay, so the radio is now on, and as you can see, when you go to options, you have all these here. Okay. But there's nothing for cameras, presets, list, main. That's pretty much it. And when you go to home, you have that, settings, you come to here, language, factory settings, navigation, system version, then you have Bluetooth, you have display, you have audio. That's pretty much it. As you can see, is all you have. So let's connect this. Let's look for, oh dear, digilere. Okay, let's question the vehicle for the VIN. So I'm going to I'm going to skip all this. There's no point for you guys to be here. So see you in a bit. Okay, and let's try to figure it out. Computer maybe. Radio. Okay. So now on radio, let me see if I have anything here. Maybe here. Say repair, final version, repair perhaps. Repair, so English, oh, the rear camera, oh, there we go. Okay, so rear camera is coded as without, as you can see in there, okay? Okay, so, okay, we should be able to code that, but before, I'm gonna connect the camera, because I'm not sure how it works, so let me try to see. Okay, let me see then if I can. Okay, let's change this. So it's gonna be perhaps other configurations. No, configurations. Reversing camera calibration. Oh, there's a calibration for the camera. Sorry, guys. System configuration. That it will only work after the camera activated, obviously. So let's go system configuration. Next. So here, there we go. So loudspeakers, so rear camera. It's current without. We're gonna change that to with. Okay, should be that. I'll do next. So just confirm my selection, which is okay with. Now let's press validate. Okay, radio goes off. Radio restarts. Okay. And clip is at the moment waiting for the radio. Says command in progress. Okay, restart it again. Command finish it. Let's press finish in there. Okay, so I presume that if I come now here to configurations here on the side, okay, rear camera, so as you can see now, rear camera is now with. So that's good. So let me see now what happens when I come to, okay, so it was here. So reversing camera, calibration, what does in there? Rear camera, ignition on and then just stop. The command is to adjust and initialize the rear camera. Let's press next. Misfitting, the camera fitting is sound. So that is on a flat. Okay, so that's gonna be straight. I'm not sure. Just let's press yes just to see what happens. Okay, that's great stuff. Okay, so on my screen it comes up waiting for the camera, but obviously at the moment I have no image input, no video input, so it's showing black. So I'm gonna leave it where it is, and let's connect the camera, see if I can get image in there. Okay guys, and from that last clip, which was recorded 2 weeks ago, everything just went downhill. Okay. Okay, I will explain you. So I got it connected, and as soon as I connect the camera, I've seen something that I knew straight away what it was. And after that, I spent pretty much the rest of the day just trying to get this FER to work, but I couldn't. So as soon as I connect the camera, the image came sort of black and white and sort of passy all the time on the screen, and that was a sign that either the camera was a PAL system and the radio was NTSC, or vice versa. And indeed it was. The camera was PAL system, and there is a reason why I'm saying the word was PAL system. The radio takes NTSC signal. So what I've been doing the rest of the day was try to see if I could get the radio to take a PAL signal and decode the PAL signal correctly. Guys, I upgraded the firmware on the radio. I managed to get in this radio runs on Windows CE. I managed to get log it into Windows. I've been playing, I think, if I recall correctly, the chip that controls this radio is called MyCom or MeCom. There's a little software that I can run on Windows that takes control of all the settings on that MyCom or MeCom chip. Been in there, I've been through everything. I could not make this thing to take PAL signal. So I had to send the camera back, and now I got a camera that is NTSC. So my advice to you guys is going to be, if you are watching this video because you want to do this job, is make sure you get an NTSC camera. So now I have everything connected. I don't think I haven't showed you the connections yet, how they go on the plug, but I will. So right now I have the camera plugged in here, so there is that sort of little cable already plugged in, already temporarily pushed in into the connector at the back. We have this wire at the top, which is my reverse signal, and the radio is there on the main menu. And I have my 12 volts power supply. So last time I said we'll put it on this one, we'll put it on this. This is a socket that I fitted myself that day. Was another job that was supposed to be done, and I got it done. And here is my cable. So the camera is already connected. So the only thing I need to connect now is the signal wire, is the signal into that yellow wire to make the radio to go onto reverse. So let me be very careful not to short anything. So let me see if I can get this done somehow without messing about too much. Just hold on a second, guys. Let me try to place the phone somewhere in here. Okay, I'll do. So if I put signal in there, the radio should turn into reverse. Look at that. You might not be able to see, there is a little bit of light coming through there. A little bit pointing out. Oh, there we go. Oh crap. Like that. Come on. Hold yourself in place. I think it's going to. So you can't really see too much. Let me. Okay, so there it is. Hi guys. So there it is. The camera is working absolutely fine. And you now have two buttons here on the screen. obviously, as you can probably imagine, up there to get the grids on, as you can see, and you have to get more bright or less, and the contrast the same. Okay, so the only thing I need to check now is when I fit the camera on the rear of the van, is making sure. So now I'm going to take the signal wire, and the radio will turn off the screen for the camera. There we go. So the only thing I need to make sure now is that I don't need to connect Renault clip again to move the image on the screen, but it looks to be quite centered. Looks okay, but we'll have a look when we put it back, when you put it in place, and if everything is aligned, etc, etc. So now that we know it works, I will show you how the connections goes on that connector, so you can do this if you want. Okay, I'm going to quick show you how the connections are made, and you can easily copy this. There is another 2 pins in case if you are using a 5-volt camera, where you can take the voltage from the actually radio itself. So the radio feeds 5 volts from here. I can't recall now which 2 pins are, but most likely if you get a camera like this, it's going to be 12 volts anyway, so you need to take voltage from elsewhere. But when you look at the back of this plug, as you can easily see, I still have a connect. I'm going to remove now, but I'll show you. So this pin here, so when you look, so this is the tab that you press to remove the plug, and so the plug goes on the radio like this, facing the tab is up. So the third plug, the third pin over there, as you can see, is my reverse signal. Okay, right there, and this is going to be pin number 3. Okay, so pin number 3 is my reverse signal. The reverse signal is 12 volts. It's not ground, it's 12 volts. So you apply 12 volts to that, and the radio it will switch into the camera screen. Okay. Then we have right here, we have pin, the third pin from the left, from the right, which is pin number 10, is your voltage, is your video signal. Okay, so as you can see in there, is your video signal, pin number 10. Okay, now the video voltage, guys, for you that might don't know, is always your middle contact. Okay, so the middle is going to be your video voltage, the outside is going to be your ground, video ground, and it goes on the pin right below. So I'm going to remove this now. So it goes on the pin right below. So pin number 10, 1, 2, 3. So it counts from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that pin in there is your video voltage. The pin right below, which is going to be pin, so 24, 23, 22, I think it is. Pin 22 is going to be your video ground. So the way I had this connected, I had the plug on the radio, and obviously there is no pins inside here, but obviously the pin on the radio comes through the plug, and I was just pushing the wires all the way down here so they make contact. But now I don't know if I'm gonna have a plug like this so I can take the pins out. I will try to take one of these out, and I'll try to see if I have something that's going to fit. Alternatively, you can look, you have this, or you can have an old plug like this from the scrapyard and take the pins. You can buy the adapter, I think is out there for sale. So there's many ways for you to do this, guys, but the important thing here is if you want to do it this way is where you do the connections. And I think that's it for now. So all I'm going to do now is the hard work that you guys are not going to see, which is going to be run the cable all the way from here to the back of the van. Most likely, or actually I will be taking the voltage from somewhere in from the front of the van. My plan is, I don't know if it's going to work, but my plan is to capture the reverse signal that goes obviously to eliminate the reverse lights, is to take that signal to power the camera and send the signal to the radio. Don't know if it's going to be enough. Sometimes that is fed from body control modules, or in this case UCH, and sometimes that voltage is not enough, so we'll have to see how it goes and go from there. If I need to install a small relay to power all this, I will, but I want to see if I can capture the voltage here at the front of the van, because it will make things much easier. That way I will only have to run one cable from the back to the front of the van and then do everything else around here. So let's see how it goes. I will take you through the important bits. Let's gonna get things started then. Okay guys, and the third stoplight is already removed. We will be reutilizing this bulb on the camera one. I have the route ready for the cable, and I will show you how it goes. So third light is going to run all the way through here, through there, through here, inside the van. From the inside the van is going to come up already. Drop the phone was now on my plans, so it's going to come up. I already removed all this trunking all the way long, or open it, so it's going to run all the way long through there. Here it's going to go across into this corner here above the lining. Right in this corner at the back is going to run all the way through this pillar, down. The left box is already removed, and from here obviously the radio is just there, and hopefully I'll be able, like I said, to take my voltage that goes back to the reverse lights, and hopefully I should be able to get everything working from here. But for now guys, it's just literally run the cables, or the cable, so I'll be doing that off camera, there's no point. So I'll be running the cable all the way along, close all the trunking, put the camera back in, put the camera in place, all that good stuff, and then I'll show you in the end obviously, but there's no point to do it on camera, so stay tuned. Hey guys, the camera is now in place. The cable obviously runs through here all the way. To get it through this conduit is an absolutely pita, but it's doable. So it comes through here, goes up, and goes all the way around. Well, I've showed you already where to go through. Now, right now here, I want you to pay attention to this jumper here, from this red wire into that grey wire there, and I'll explain in a second why is that for. So when you get here to the front, I don't have diagrams for this, and I thought, have you seen the other pink wire in there at the back? I thought that pink wire would be this one, but actually it's not. But the red one comes straight here into the fuse box, right there where this yellow probe is. That's that red wire, okay? So what I've done is I've jumped that into the reversing lights. So when you engage the reverse, the voltage is fed from the bulb into that wire, comes all the way to the back of this fuse box, and I'm taking it now from here. But I will tell you where I'm going to take it from and how I'm going to do it in a second. From here, comes all the way. I have already managed to find the pins, the wires from this Renault plug. So I took them off and put them at the back. I already showed you which pins you need to use, And here I have my ground, which is grounded in there. I have my voltage, which comes from there, which comes from the bulb at the back, which feeds into my camera, and it feeds my signal, my reverse signal. The camera is connected here, ground, and obviously video voltage. And I'm going to show you now, oh sorry guys, I'm going to show you now. The van is running, so I need to kind of jump into this side. But let me show you this. So I'm going to engage the reverse. And there we go. Look at that. All working. So all I'm going to do now is make all these temporary connections, make them permanent. And what I'm going to do in there, guys, is to protect the sorry about that, to protect the camera, and basically to protect the camera and everything else, in case if the camera goes wrong and it wants to burn the fuse. What I'm going to do is, so the voltage that is fed, that is coming from the bulb all the way back, or from the same wire that feeds the bulb, comes all the way back, gets into that fuse, and then from there, obviously at the back there is another wire at the top, which is this, sorry guys, is this red, this thick red one. But this red wire, this fuse obviously was supposed to fit something that this one is not fitted with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this wire here, isolate the voltage feed, and use this wire here then to go up to the camera, put a 5 amp fuse in there maybe, and that way I'm going to be able to protect. So if the camera goes short, hopefully this 5 amp fuse here will burn without doing any more damage. I might actually use an even lower amp, maybe a 2.5 amps or 3 amp fuse. I need to see how much voltage, how much current this camera actually draws. Let me see if it's, oh dear, see if there's anything on the paperwork. If it tells me that it draws, it's probably just a few milliamps anyway. So look at that, 150 milliamps. That's all it draws. So we have 150 milliamps. The voltage feed signal to the radio. Obviously, there's going to be pretty much no consumption. So I just need like a 3 amp fuse is all I need, and I'm sure that will burn if the camera goes shorted or something happens. So that's the plan. I hope you guys understand what I have just explained, and we're just gonna literally just put everything back on the way I've explained you, and I will show you in the end everything working, but so far it's looking good. And it's all done. So I give a clean to the van, all sorted, and we have, let me show you. So I've removed all the plastics from the camera that came from factory, and look at that. I have already aligned the camera. The camera is sort of tilts on the casing, so I already aligned it so you can see the back of the van just there, and it's done. So you can now enable the guidelines if you want. They don't turn with the steering, unfortunately. Would be good, but they don't. So yeah, looked really good. So obviously you can do that. You can, I think, that's it. So that's it. You can adjust your bright and contrast, but job done. So if you have one of these and you want to fit an aftermarket camera, I know some place tells you it's not possible. Guys, it is possible. And I'm going to terminate this video here now. So job is done. We fitted a reversing camera on a Renault Trafic 2014. Vauxhall Vivaro will be the same, most likely. Any car really with this radio will be the same. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. I really hope there's some information here that you guys can find useful. If you guys do have, oh, just one quick thing, I will leave a link in the description below for the camera. I don't know for how long that seller is gonna sell it, but I'll leave a link in the description below just in case if you guys are interested. So yeah, hope there's some information on this video, guys, and find it useful. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do have any questions, any comments, guys, put them below. And like always, thanks for watching.